Somewhere beneath the ocean floor, something ancient stirred for the first time in 10,000 years. The galaxy called Earth a dead world, a nobody, a planet not worth mentioning in their star charts. They were wrong. Because deep underground, a heartbeat that shouldn't exist started beating again. And across 100 alien empires, sensors screamed the same warning at the exact same second. Something on Earth just woke up, and nothing in the universe would ever be the same again. For 3,000 years, the galaxy laughed at Earth. Every star map labeled it the same way. Low priority, no defenses, no fleet, no threat. Some alien scholars didn't even know humans existed. Others knew, but didn't care. To them, Earth was a backwater rock, spinning quietly in a corner of the Milky Way nobody bothered to visit. That was about to change. Far beyond Pluto, a massive coalition fleet of Euros. Nearly 3,000 ships strong Euros dropped out of warp in dead silence. This wasn't a scouting mission. This was the Velkar Dominion, one of the oldest and most ruthless powers in known space, and they had come to claim Earth's resources for themselves. No warning. No negotiation. Just conquest. Commander Threxaval stood on the bridge of his flagship, arms crossed, staring at the small blue dot on his display. Pathetic, he muttered. A planet full of primitives who still fight wars with metal and fire. His officers laughed along with him. Why wouldn't they? Every scan they'd run said the same thing. Earth had zero shields, zero orbital defense, and a species too busy fighting each other to notice a fleet the size of a small moon. But scans only show what's meant to be seen. 2 miles beneath the Pacific Ocean, sealed inside solid bedrock older than recorded history, something had been waiting. Not a myth, not a legend whispered around campfires. Real, massive, silent. Built by the very first humans who ever walked this Earth. Hidden away for a day they hoped would never come a Euros. The day something from the stars tried to take what wasn't theirs. For thousands of years, it slept. No government knew it existed. No satellite ever detected it. It didn't need power from the grid, didn't need anyone's permission, and didn't answer to anyone. It simply waited, patient as stone, for one single trigger. At 3:14 a.m. Eastern Time, seismic sensors across 4 continents spiked at the exact same second. Scientists panicked, thinking it was a global earthquake. It wasn't deep in the trench. A light the color of molten gold began to pulse, slowly, steadily, like a heartbeat waking up after a very, very long sleep. The countdown had begun a Euros, and the galaxy had no idea. Dr. Amara Reyes hadn't slept in 2 days. As lead geophysicist at the Pacific Deep Sensor Array, she'd spent her whole career studying ocean floor anomalies nobody else took seriously. Colleagues called her obsessive. Tonight, she was about to be proven right in the most terrifying way possible. This isn't tectonic, she said, staring at the readout with her hand shaking. The energy signature is organized, rhythmic. This thing isn't shifting a euro, it's waking up. Her team thought she was losing it, until the cameras they lowered into the trench sent back the first images in decades. A structure, massive, angular, covered in symbols no linguist on Earth could translate, glowing faint gold along seams that hadn't moved in 10,000 years. And at its center, a chamber the size of a football stadium, pulsing with light like a slow, deliberate breath. Meanwhile, 3,000 ships were now 3 hours from Earth orbit, and Commander Threxaval had already started drafting his victory report. Initial descent in 90 minutes, he ordered. Minimal resistance expected. He had no idea what he'd just triggered. Because the structure beneath the Pacific wasn't just old technology. It was a Sentinel A Euro. A Guardian system built by Earth's earliest civilizations using knowledge lost to time, designed with one single purpose: protect this world from anything that came to conquer it. It didn't care about borders or governments or wars between nations. It only had one directive buried in its core for millennia Euros. When Earth is threatened from beyond the stars, wake up. And Earth was now threatened. Inside the chamber, ancient systems that hadn't run in 10 millennia flickered back to life one by one. Power cells the size of buildings began charging. A low hum spread through the ocean floor, so deep that whales 200 miles away changed their migration paths overnight. On the surface, every intelligence agency on the planet went on high alert. Military satellites detected the alien fleet approaching. Governments scrambled, terrified, assuming humanity was about to face annihilation with nothing to fight back with. They didn't know they weren't alone in this fight. 200 miles beneath their feet, something ancient, patient, and powerful had already made its decision. Earth wasn't defenseless. It had just been waiting for the right moment to prove it. The Velkar Dominion fleet entered Earth's orbit like they owned it, 3,000 warships spread out in a slow, arrogant formation, cameras broadcasting the moment back to their homeworld for propaganda. Commander Threxa Vol smiled as he watched Earth's tiny, outdated satellites do absolutely nothing to stop them. "Begin the descent," he said. "Let's show these primitives what real power looks like." That's when the ocean split open. Not metaphorically a Euros. The Pacific Ocean, right above the trench, erupted upward in a column of light and water taller than any skyscraper on the planet. News crews around the world caught it live. Billions of people watched, frozen. As something the size of a mountain rose out of the sea, the Sentinel had awakened. It didn't look like a weapon. It looked like something ancient and deliberate. A Euros, smooth golden armor plating, geometric patterns pulsing with light, no visible pilot, no visible crew. It simply rose into the sky, silent, and turned to face the fleet like it had been expecting them. Commander Threxavol's smile disappeared. "Scan that thing now." His officers couldn't. Their instruments couldn't even get a clean reading of Euros. The technology was beyond anything in their databases, older than their own civilization by thousands of years. "Fire," Threxa ordered, panic creeping into his voice. "Fire everything!" The first wave of alien warships unloaded everything they had. Explosions lit up the upper atmosphere, visible from every continent. For 3 full seconds, it looked like the end. Then the smoke cleared. The Sentinel hadn't moved, not a scratch on its hull. And in that same instant, it answered back you. Not with mercy, not with hesitation. Beams of golden light tore through a dozen warships in seconds, folding steel like paper. Entire squadrons vanished off Velkar's scanners one after another. On the bridge, Threxavol stared in disbelief as ship after ship went dark on his display. This wasn't supposed to be possible. Earth wasn't supposed to have anything. No records, no warnings. No legends taken seriously by anyone in the galaxy. They had made the oldest mistake in the book A Euro, underestimating a world just because it looked quiet. Because quiet doesn't mean weak. Sometimes quiet just means something has been waiting a very, very long time. Within 20 minutes, half the Velkar fleet was gone. Commander Threxavol gripped his chair, sweat running down his face as his flagship shook from impact after impact. "Retreat!" he finally screamed. "Full retreat now!" But retreating wasn't that simple. A Euros. Not when something that fast, that precise, and that unbothered had already locked onto every ship trying to run. The Sentinel didn't chase them out of anger. It moved with purpose. Like it was finishing a job it had trained for since the day it was built. Ship by ship, the invasion force that once looked unstoppable was reduced to wreckage drifting silently above Earth's atmosphere. And then, just as fast as it started a Euros, it stopped. The Sentinel hovered above the Pacific, golden light steady and calm, watching the remaining Velkar ships flee into warp space, tails between their legs, carrying a message home that no one in their empire would want to believe. Earth wasn't defenseless. It never was. Down on the surface, the entire planet erupted. People filled the streets in every country, phones raised, tears streaming, watching replay after replay of the moment humanity's oldest secret finally answered the call. For the first time in history, every nation on Earth stood united under one undeniable truth: A Euros. This world was never alone, and it was never as weak as the galaxy assumed. Dr. Amara Reyes stood on the deck of a research vessel, staring up at the massive Guardian still hovering silently above the water, gold light reflecting off the waves. 10,000 years, she whispered. You were just waiting. The Sentinel slowly lowered itself back beneath the ocean. Sinking into the trench it called home, its job done for now. A Euros, but not gone, never gone. Just resting again, ready for the next time Earth needed it. Across the galaxy, word spread fast. Empires that once ignored Earth started rewriting their star charts overnight. The Velkar Dominion, humiliated and battered, quietly removed Earth from their conquest list. A Euros, and warned every other empire to do the same. Earth was no longer invisible. It was no longer a nobody. It was the planet with a guardian older than the pyramids, more powerful than anything the galaxy had ever seen, and it had just sent a message no empire out there would ever forget. Come at Earth, and Earth will answer back.